The skull is on the top of the axial skeleton and consists of 8 cranial bones and 14 facial bones. The cranial bones include occipital, 2 temporal bones, 2 parietal bones, sphenoid, ethmoid, and the frontal bone. Cranial suture is the fibrous joint connecting the cranial bones. The primary cranial sutures include the paired coronal sutures between the frontal and parietal bones. The facial bones include 2 inferior turbinate, 2 lacrimal bones, mandible, 2 maxilla, 2 nasal bones, 2 palatine bones, vomer, and 2 zygomatic bones. The mandible bone is also called the lower jaw, while the upper one is maxilla. The ossicle of the axial skeleton is known as inner ear bones and consists of 3 bones, malleus, incus, and stapes. The ossicles are responsible for sound transmission. At 3 mm times 2.5 mm, stapes is the smallest bone in the human body. Hyoid bone is another part of the axial skeleton. It is also called the bone of the tongue. Rib cage is like a bird cage which is composed of sternum, ribs, and cartilages in between. The sternum is sometimes known as the breastbone, where the chest compression manipulation of CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, locates. It has 3 parts: manubrium, body, and xiphoid process from superior to inferior. The ribs connect to the sternum through the costal cartilage, hyaline cartilage. There are 12 pairs of ribs. The first 7th pairs of ribs have cartilage directly connecting to the sternum are true ribs. The 8th 12th pairs of ribs have no cartilage connection directly to the sternum are false ribs. The 11th 12th pairs of ribs even have no cartilage at all, like floating above the abdomen. They are called the floating ribs. Vertebral column, also known as spinal column, is the central axis of the body and a part of the axial skeleton. It supports the body trunk and protects the spinal cord and spinal nerve roots. The vertebral column is composed of 33 bones, called vertebrae, divided into 5 sections: the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine sections, and the sacrum and coccyx bones. There are 7 cervical vertebrae, entitled with capitalized C for cervical. C1 is called atlas bone, C2 is axis bone. They together form the atlantoaxial joint, which is pivot joint to perform axial rotation of the head. The number of thoracic vertebrae is 12 and 5 for lumbar vertebrae. There are 4 natural curves in the spinal column: the cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and sacral curvature. The cervical and lumbar curves are towards the anterior, while the thoracic and sacral curvature to the posterior. These curves increase the vertebral column strength, flexibility, and ability to absorb shock. The appendicular skeleton is primarily the bones of the 4 limbs with bony structure girdle. Attached to the axial skeleton. Girdle is the clip-like bone connection to consolidate limbs. Girdle is the bone joint. There are 3 girdles in the body: the paired shoulder girdles, pectoral girdles, formed by clavicle bone and scapular bone of both sides to connect upper limbs to the trunk.